7-man or Wildcat.
Welcome back to the Purple Pod, the best K-State podcast out. I'm Stevie B.
I'm Kenny G.
And in today's episode, we're going to talk about FARMAGEDDON, K-State versus Iowa State. Senior day. Before we get to that, though, make sure you guys like, subscribe, tell your friends. We're almost to 100 subscribers. We hope to get there before the regular season ends. Kenny, I'm excited for today's game despite the weather. I'm looking outside right now. It's actually starting to come down pretty good, man. It's starting to come down pretty good outside right now.
Yeah, man. Woke up this morning. We all knew that it was going to be a weather day. This is just like this is the kind of day where you're like, okay, we're definitely in football season now. It's going to be exciting. We've had pretty good weather pretty much across the board. Every game that we've been in. And one of the stats that I think you brought up is that if we sell out this game, every single game that we've played this year would be a sold out game, which is pretty cool. And it's never happened in K-State football history.
No,
so that's kind of a big deal. But but with the weather being the way it is, it kind of makes me worried that we might not get a sold out game, but who knows? We'll see. I don't know. It's kind of a big game, despite there not really being any Big 12 championship hopes, because as the time that we're recording, the games of OU and Texas Longhorns have already been played, and basically we needed one of those two to lose. If Texas was going to lose, we were hoping that OU would win. And the game, what happened was it started off OU won, so we were needing Texas to lose. That didn't happen. Both teams won. And in the scenario where everybody wins this weekend, Texas and Oklahoma State are going to go to the Big 12 championship. In the scenario where Texas and OU win and K-State win, but OSU doesn't win, it's going to be Texas and OU in the Big 12 championship. So the only way that K-State could have made it in is if Texas would have lost and then everybody else would have won. It would have been a 4-way tie, and K-State and Texas would have gone in. And in the other scenario was Texas winning, us winning, but both Oklahoma schools losing would have got us in. But what ended up happening was OU and Texas both won, meaning that K-State's Big 12 championship hopes are now off the table. And now we're just playing for the series rivalry of FARMAGEDDON, which is what we're going to be talking about, today. It's corn versus wheat. Sorry, let me rephrase that. It's wheat versus corn.
There we go.
Yeah. Wheat is greater than corn. If you guys don't know, if you're not informed well enough, Kansas is repping the wheat crop and Iowa State is repping the corn crop. This is the longest standing college football rivalry in the history of college football. And
is it?
It is.
No way.
According to Tim Fitzgerald, this is the longest, consistent. Like there has been no year in that we have done it every single year from start to now. It is the most consecutive football rivalry since the beginning.
Okay.
With 0 breaks. And that's what blows my mind is that in the future, in 2027, they have already released the schedule, which I think they need to go back and change. They've released the schedule saying that K-State is not playing Iowa State in the 2027 year. That is a huge mistake. They have us playing like Arizona or something like that. It's like, okay, as much as I would love to see that game, I want to keep this rivalry going as long as possible. And I don't think you give up a massive rivalry just because you want to have like some other teams get in there. It doesn't make sense. This is not what college football fans want. It's almost like the Big 12 has no idea what college football fans want. It's like they're completely oblivious.
Yeah, they're going by a computer model or whatever instead of they only punched in a handful of rivalries, and that's really frustrating that we're not at FARMAGEDDON in 2027. But we're getting it this year, and there's been some good games. I mean, You look back, there was a 20-19 game where Skylar Thompson hit Isaiah Zuber back at the end zone on literally the last play of the game. There was a year that K-State blocked an extra point in 2023 in Arrowhead. I was there for both of those games. There was a year, just last year, K-State won 10-9. There was a year where K-State got 2 fumbles in the final minute and a half to win in regulation 38-35 when they were down 35-14 in the second half. I mean, there's been some good games in there, man. There really has. I think at one point K-State had won like 11, 12, 13 in a row. In fact, I think Iowa's first win after that like streak was Bill Snyder's last game. K-State gave up like a 17-point fourth quarter lead to lose 40-38. I mean, there's been some really, really good games. And this year shapes up like it's going to be possibly a game. I do think K-State's going to end up putting it on them later in the game. Now, let's go ahead and get into our initial thoughts of K-State versus Iowa State. K-State is looking for its first undefeated homestand since 2012 when our offensive coordinator, Colin Klein, was a quarterback and K-State won the Big 12 that year. Kenny, I have some pretty big initial thoughts, but I want to hear yours first about K-State versus Iowa State. What are you looking for in this game? All of that.
Well, first of all, Steve, your internet is crazy. You're like lagging like wild right now.
No, but, really?
I mean, we can hear you, but it's, you there's moments where you sound robotronic a little bit and your face isn't keeping up with the vocals, but we can at least make out what you're saying. So my initial thought, what was your question? My initial thoughts for the game before we get into it. Oh, I guess Steve is not in this call right now. It's just going to be me. So I'm going to go ahead and say, listen, K-State versus Iowa State. This is the longest, like I said earlier, this is the longest standing rivalry in college football right now. Oh, Steve is back. And currently,
Kansas internet, man. Kansas internet.
It's wild. And my initial thoughts are that Iowa State is not a team that you sleep on at any moment. They are a solid team. When we looking at the beginning of this year, we did not think that they were a good team, and they have like put those statements to rest. I mean, they have really come out and played a really solid year of football. They had a chance to take out Texas Longhorns just like we did. They actually got out to a good lead where we were behind pretty much the whole game. And then they kind of let off the gas. We picked up towards the end, but it wasn't enough. Last play of the game sort of scenario. But Iowa State is not a team that you sleep on. Now, I will say, yes, this year when the Cats are at home, we are just different. I mean, to be fair, all of the easiest teams in the worst teams in the Big 12 conference that we played were at home versus our toughest opponents were away. I think Iowa State is the hardest opponent that we're going to be bringing to our house. But again, it's our house. We have scored at least 38 points or more on our turf. And it's been like dominating victory after dominating victory after dominating victory. I mean, I feel like the Cats just feel better when they're home. They look better when they're home. And so I'm not super worried in terms of, do I think this is going to be a tough game? Like, to be fair, Iowa State, they're not playing anything except for like position in a bowl game. Same with Kansas State. At this point, it's for pride. It's for the series win, the series, like who has the series win. And then also a bowl game placements and stuff like that. So I'm super pumped for the day. It's going to be a fun day. There's going to be some weather going on. We might be seeing some different stuff, being that it's the last regular season game of the year. I just hope the Cats go out there. They play good football. No one gets crazy injured. We don't try to do anything crazy. We just go out there. We have a good game. And I hope Iowa State loses and we continue the wheat victory over corn, because wheat is better than corn. Let's be honest.
Okay, I'm hoping my internet's a little bit better now. I have like 2 different internets. I got like a close one and a farther away one, and hopefully it's a little bit better. I probably should have restarted my computer, and I apologize for that. So I'll try this quick. I think K-State is going this game. They've scored at least, and I looked it up here. You said 38. We scored 38 at Texas Tech, but in terms of home games, we've scored at least 41 in
That's
every
right.
single home game. Let me read off the amount of points K-State scored at home this season. 45, 42, 44, 41, 41, and 59. K-State
Hold on.
has
Say that one more time. I'm going to type this into the calculator as you're telling me. So go ahead.
Sure. 45,
Okay.
42, 44, 41, 41, and 59 so far this season. And
We have scored 272 points at home. Now, what did we give our opponent? At home, we 272.
Divide 272 divided by 6. There's been 6 home games. What is the average per game?
272 divided by 6 is 45.333 repeating. So we average 45 points a game. And I believe I did the math in terms of the opponent, what we allow, it's like 13 or 12 points or something like that.
Yeah, so K-State give it up. Go ahead and do this too, and we'll talk about the difference here.
Okay.
0.
Okay.
0, 13.
Okay.
31. 3. 0.
Okay.
And 25.
And let's be honest, that 31 should have been.
So like 25, 0, 3, 31, 13, and 0.
Yep, divided by 6, that's 72, so that's 12. So it's 45 average to 12 average. That is blowout after blowout after blowout.
Well, and I'm looking outside, and yes, weather will probably play a factor in this game. Let's be honest. But I do still feel like K-State's going to come out swinging. They're like, yes, you could look at it and say this game does not matter because K-State's out of the Big 12 title race. They're going to, regardless, finish in the top 3 or 4 of the conference. But it's still a rivalry game. It is still senior night. They're going to be honoring 24 seniors, and I want to talk about a couple of them really quickly here. They're going to be honoring Will Howard, Trayshawn Ward, Phillip Brooks, Jaden Jackson, Cooper Beebe, KT Leviston, Ben Sennett, who's actually a junior, but looking like he's not going to come back. Hayden Gillum, Taylor Potier, Christian Duffy, Khalid Duke, Brendan Mott, Uso Sayamalo, Daniel Green, Austin Moore, Kobe Savage, Keenan Garber, Seth Porter, Jack Bloomer, and a ton of other seniors. This is a special senior class. They deserve to have as many people in the seats as possible, despite the weather. They're going to come out. They're going to be excited. They're going to be flying around. I do think K-State is going to absolutely dominate this game in the fourth quarter. I feel like it's going to be close for a couple of quarters. When the fourth quarter, K-State's going to blow it open, and it's going to be a fun game to be at tonight. Let's go and pull up the stats really quickly here.
Yeah, as you pull it up, man, it's like let the seniors just leave it all out on the field today. I mean, this is this is their last. I mean, they got one more game after this, but this is like the last game that they're going to be playing. Yeah, last home game of the year as a Cat. It's like.
Right.
This is like all the years that you've put in, all the hard work, and this is your last home game. Just lay it all out on the field, leave nothing behind. And I feel like when the Cats, especially the senior class, every single person that you mentioned in that senior class, when they're playing their best, the Cats look absolutely unstoppable. I mean, and most of those people that you mentioned, they're going to be playing on Sundays. I mean, it's a treat to watch. The senior class, how they've developed over the years and where they're at right now, and the respect that they've gotten from other teams, the respect that they've gotten from other podcasts that aren't even representative of there are people that aren't even fans of K-State that mention some of the players that you listed off as the seniors, like, hey, listen, Cooper Beebe, that guy is insane. Kobe Savage, that dude's really, really good. We got to watch out for him. The respect and the acknowledgement that they have for this senior class, for most of the players, they realize that we've got some really good players. I mean, some of these players are walk-ons, and they're incredible. Like Austin Moore, these guys deserve the accolades. They deserve the praise that we give them. And I think everybody should, like you said, everybody make it out to the game. give it our all here. Even though we're not going to the Big 12, we still got a game to win. And this senior class deserves the fan base one last game for the year for playing an amazing season of football. I mean, let's go out there and win, guys. Let's go out there and light up the freaking stadium.
Absolutely. Let's look at these stats here because K-State's got the advantage almost across the entire board here. We're looking at offense first here. Will Howard has a chance to break the season touchdown passing record. He only needs 2. I think he's going to get it today. Ben Sinnen only needs like 50 yards and 1 touchdown to break the single season tight end record, even though he's kind of listed as a fullback, tight end, H-back, whatever it is. He's going to break that record today, most likely. Both of those records, actually. DJ Giddens only need about 50 yards or 40 yards, something like that, to break 1,000 rushing yards. So there's still a lot on the table on top of the big rivalry today. K-State's got the advantage almost across the board in scoring offense, total offense, and rush offense, third down and red zone. K-State's looking pretty good here, man. What are you looking at for K-State's offense and what they should be doing today against Iowa State's defense, which actually looks like they're pretty decent against the pass. They're pretty good in the red zone, but overall, it looks like K-State's got the advantage across the board.
Yeah, I think we got to get back to what has worked for us all season long. It's going to probably – I'm hoping that Will Howard's legs are healed up. I hope they're working a lot better today because I would like to see a little bit more Will Howard on the ground. I don't want to see him throw as often with this kind of weather. I think some short passes keep the defense honest. I think that'll be fine. Hitting Ben Sinnott, hitting, Jace Brown, stuff like that. But I think we're going to see a lot of DJ Giddens. We're probably going to see some Trayshawn Ward in there just because he's the senior. And we're probably going to hand him the ball some because, it's not like he's a terrible player. It's just that DJ's just looked better this season. And we've seen a lot ever since the UCF game. DJ has completely earned that position as a starter. But we've seen Trayshawn get thrown in there here and there. I think we'll probably see a little bit more of him. He's not a terrible running back at all. But I think if we get out to a good lead, we'll probably see a lot more of Trayshawn Ward. We'll probably see a lot more running game this today just because of the weather. I would think. But you never know. I mean, like a lot can happen. It's the last home game. We might throw some cool stuff out there just for S's and G's. Who knows? But I think we're going to stick to running the ball with Giddens. We might try some jet sweeps potentially. It's tough though because I don't know how slippery the ground's going to be. It's going to be tough to to cut on those jet sweeps. You might just see a lot of people slipping as they're trying to cut up the field, as they're sprinting across to try to make that quick cut. You might see a lot of guys slipping, who's the guy that usually does that? Jaden Jackson. Yeah. Jaden Jackson's usually the guy that does the jet sweep. If he keeps his feet on the ground and locked in on the whatever, the turf or whatever it is that we have on that field, if we get him locked in and he's not slipping, I think we could see some jet sweeps, but for the most part, I think we're going to be punching it up the gut. I mean, this offensive line, this is their last home game. We got some huge dudes up front. I'm hoping that they can punch in some huge holes. I mean, look at the rushing offense here, 16th versus the 33rd rushing defense. I mean, that's still pretty respectable. I just think we're going to see some running going on. I think it might actually work in our benefit. I mean, when they played against University of Texas, they didn't even have their starting running back, and they had a true freshman out there, and he was still able to run all over Iowa State. So that kind of puts a little bit of confidence in me when I'm thinking, okay, well, we've got DJ Giddens, we got Trayshawn Ward, and we even got Will Howard that can run a little bit. Let's see what can happen there. As far as running down the field, I'm pretty confident in that. Passing, yeah, they've got the advantage in the passing defense, but I just don't see us passing as often. And again, our passing offense doesn't look as good as a whole because we didn't have as many. We didn't have the main target, the boy Jace Brown early in the season. If we had him early in the season, we might have had some better stats on our passing game. But overall, this is looking good for us. We've clearly got the advantage, as you guys can all see here on the screen. And it's going to be a good game. I think we're going to have a lot of fun watching this game for sure.
So my thoughts are on offense is that K-State's going to, I do anticipate K-State to try to get the seniors the ball more. They're going to try to get DJ's 1,000 yards and then probably go to Trayshawn Ward more since it is his last game. But at the same time, K-State's still trying to win the game. You're going to do your normal stuff to win the game. You're going to have your scripted plays. If K-State gets the ball first, they're going to come right down and score like they had done, I think, in every game.
It's in the script.
It's in the script. K-State's going to come down and score, most likely a touchdown on their first drive. They're going to do what they do. In the second half, that's when you're going to get a little fun. Try to get the ball to your seniors. Try to play some more guys because hopefully at that point, K-State's up by a little bit more. I do think and hope K-State will continue to throw the ball despite the weather. We want to get Will Howard that pass touchdown record today, but we also want to keep that defense honest. We got to keep the defense honest, honestly. We have to keep them honest because if they're going to put 8-9 guys in a box, it's going to be tough sledding, I mean, we got a great offensive line, but we can't be running it every single play. Keep the defense honest, get Will Howard that record, and move the ball, you know what I mean? And it should be a fun game. I do think there's going to be some jet sweeps, some more screens, short passes because of the weather, but you still got to take those deep shots. Jaden Jackson's caught a couple. Jace Brown's caught a couple. And Phillip Brooks. You got to take your chances here and there. Basically do whatever you saw on the film. When they're given, you got to take it, man. You really got to do it. And hopefully K-State can score 45 or more points again this week. Let's talk about the K-State defense. K-State defense, for the most part, has the advantage overall, except for the passing defense, which has only improved since the beginning of the year when a couple of guys got more playing time, got a little more acclimated to the system, like Will Lee, Keenan Garber, and a few other guys, a couple safeties, Marquis Siegel. I think K-State is going to disrupt their QB, Rocco Becht, who's a freshman, make him have some mistakes. Because if you look down here at the turnover margin, K-State's +9, but they're actually like +12 in the last 6 games, which is phenomenal to see. They're taking the ball away, intercepting the passes, getting fumbles. That's going to be different this game for sure. And I just think K-State's just going to shut down their rushing offense. Kenny, what do you think about the K-State defense versus the Iowa State offense?
Yeah, this is kind of what our keys to victory are, winning, where we win at home, like you read it off earlier in this episode. We've had 2 games this year already where we shut the team out. And then there was one game where we held them only to 3 points total. We've only given up 72 points at home. That is, in the course of 6 games, that is unbelievable when you're at Power 5 football. So it's like, okay, we're at home. It's going to be some weather issues going on. Their strength is their pass game. Good luck in this weather. Good luck at an away game. Good luck when the stakes are high in terms of this rivalry, Farmageddon. Good luck. I mean, it's like everything is going against this team in terms of what their strength is. Passing. Okay, great. Your passing is your strength. Well, your away game, you're at an away game. It's a rivalry, a serious rivalry. You've got a freshman quarterback. The weather's going to be bad. Our seniors are going to be like Uso. You mentioned.
Look at their rush offense, dude. Their rush offense is 106 in the country.
We're definitely going to make them one-dimensional for sure because that's our strength is our rushing defense. It's not going to look good for them. I mean, we'll get to score predictions, but I don't see them making a lot of touchdowns. I don't see them really making it happen. I mean, to be fair, their red zone offense is better than us, but I feel like we've had a much harder schedule than they have in terms of who we've had to play. And, and it's not like, I don't know. I feel like we'll be good. I think we'll be just fine against them because I feel like a lot of their games didn't have any sort of weather conditions, and also it's an away game. A lot of their tough opponents were at home, so we'll see how it goes. But I definitely think K-State has the advantage. We're gonna be flying around the ball, man. It's gonna be a physical game. I'm hoping that finish strong. Absolutely. Get along to get along. Respect, my man or girl. I don't know. Steve, you're muted, by the way. But
we appreciate you get along to get along, man. You're always in here. That's awesome.
Appreciate the love, appreciate the support. But yeah, I mean, third down defense. Look at that, 5th in the country. Good luck against that. Because they know how the old saying goes, Steve. Quarterbacks make their money on third and what? Third and long, third and short, whatever. Like third downs.
They're down.
Like that's where they make their money. And it's looking like they haven't been getting paychecks lately because they're 82nd in the country in third down offense. So
we're top 10 in third down offense and defense.
Exactly.
Against the fifth strength of schedule. That is insane, dude.
It's wild. It's absolutely wild.
We are 14 points away from being 11-0, man.
Yeah, we don't have to say that. Everybody in case, all the other teams know.
We all know.
Everybody in the entire country knows how good K-State is and how we got shafted here. But we're not going to get into it. It's been talked to death. But yeah, if you just look here, this is really what it comes down to is the third down the first down conversions is like we are able to shut the third downs, shut them every time. And you saw like the stats after every game. It would be like third down conversions would be like they made 3 out of like 15 or like 4 out of like 18 or 19 or whatever. And it's like, dude, that's the whole game. That is the entire game right there. If you can't convert on third down, it's over. So
I agree.
And I feel like, especially with the weather conditions today, that's what we're going to be running into. We're going to be running into a lot of third downs because they're going to try to make some shots. They're going to try to throw the ball. There's going to be a lot of incompletes, because it's just the weather. The weather is what it is. So you're going to be seeing lots of third downs. I guarantee it. And I just like our offense versus their defense and our defense versus their offense in terms of third down situations. So there you go.
Absolutely. K-State's defense will be, I've talked about it before, K-State's offense, whether or not they're going to be the reason why K-State wins the game. I was pretty right when it came to the Texas game. But for this game, looking at Iowa State's offense, let's take a look here. Iowa State's offense, scoring offense, 78th. Total offense, 93rd. Their best out of all of them is 61st in the country in passing offense, which a lot of that is because they're losing a lot of the games. I mean, they lost at home to KU. You know what I mean? Yeah. And their rushing offense is 106. Now take all of that, add in the weather, and this is looking like an offense that's not going to score a ton of points. K-State's only averaged 12 points given up at home all season. K-State defense will be the reason why K-State wins this game, man, because they have a freshman quarterback. They can't run the ball. There's going to be a ton of weather. They're terrible on third down on offense and defense. K-State's defense is going to win this game for K-State today on Senior Day. So let's take a look here at our score predictions here. And I hope that Brendan Mock, Khalid Duke, all of those guys get some sacks because, like I said, their offense is not very good. Let's take a look here at the Stats Award graphic by Parker Clemming on Twitter. K-State has a win probability of basically 87%, a projected score of essentially 35-20. Kenny, I'm going to let you talk because my internet's not very good here. Your thoughts on this graphic and your score prediction for this weekend?
Well, I mean, I respect him, running the computer stats and giving us 34, but he forgot that we're at home and we have managed to get over 40 points every single home game. So you gotta bump that number up a little bit. I like the percentage, the win percentage. We're probably going to win 86% of the time, which is pretty legit. You got to love those odds. I think a lot of people have us down as a 2-touchdown favorite, or at least close to a 2-touchdown favorite. I have us a little bit more. I think we're going to get into score predictions later. But yeah, when you see a graphic like this, it's hard to come against K-State, especially since we're at home. I don't think the computer really puts into consideration if you're at home or not. Maybe it does. I'm not 100% sure, but
I don't think he factors that in. No.
yeah, and that is a huge factor in a lot of situations, because we've already talked this to death too. If all those games that we played away were at home, we probably would have won those games easily. So I think if you put into consideration that we'll be at home and we're even more favorites at home because we've given up only an average of 12 points a game in the last 6 games, it's tough, man. It's going to be tough to win this football game for Iowa State. But if you're a K-State fan, you love seeing this. You love seeing people favoriting us by this much. I personally think it's going to be more than that, just because of the stakes that are in this game. That's the last home game, senior night. All the records that are about to be broken, or the milestones that are going to hit with DJ Giddens hitting 1,000 rushing yards. There's a lot going on in this game. And despite it just being the last home game, there's a lot more to it. So I feel like it's going to be a tough battle. It's going to be a fun game, though. I don't see K-State losing in any scenario here. So I say that, and I don't want to jinx it, but I really feel like
what's your score, man?
We're going to go with score predictions. I'm going to go with. Oh, okay, fine. We're going to go 41-14. I'm giving them 2 touchdowns, and like one of them being in garbage time. I feel like it's going to be tough, man. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping that Iowa State is getting held to field goals most of the time, meaning I would hope that they don't even make a touchdown. I'm hoping that our defense holds them to just field goals all whole game. I mean, I'm looking back at their entire season, like versus Oklahoma State, 34-27. 50-20 against Oklahoma. They're giving up a lot of touchdowns. I mean, I think the closest, the game that they dominated the most was against Cincinnati, which we all know Cincinnati is absolutely god awful. They held them to 10 points, but they only won by 30. If we played Cincinnati, it would be like a 50-point game to like 7 or something. So I just don't think they're that dominant. I don't think they've got the players. I don't think they've got what it takes to really hold us down and to a low score. I think we're going to be running all over them. I feel like we're going to be holding them down to a low score game, and it's going to be brutal for them. Sorry, Cyclones. It is what it is, man. But K-State is going to be 40+ again, holding the season to a 40 point plus every home game. I want that to continue. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's more than 41, and I wouldn't be surprised if Iowa State makes less than 14. So that's my prediction, 14-41.
So here's what I want to say. The previous offensive coordinator before Colin Klein was Courtney Messingham. In his 3 years at K-State, they only scored 40 or more points 3 times against Power 5 opponents. This year, K-State has scored 40 or more points at home 6 times. One of those was not against a Power 5 opponent. So they've done it 4 times against 5 opponents just at home this season. K-State's offense has been very good. Now, the weather is going to play a factor in this game. When looking at this graphic here, you want all your numbers to be in blue. Specifically, you want them in the dark blue, because if you're in the dark blue, that means you're in the top 25 in the country in whatever it is, whether it's efficiency offense, defense, efficiency, running the ball, passing the ball, scoring, field position, whatever it is. K-State's got blue in every single thing except for one, which is incredible to look at, honestly. On Iowa State's side, they have a ton of red on theirs. They only have a handful of dark blue, which, again, looking at K-State's side, is a pretty big difference. I'm going to try to make this quick because I know my internet is not the best here. Typical home teams get a 3-point advantage on top of the score. He's got K-State winning essentially 35-20 if you round up. I'm going to say K-State wins 38-20, giving the home team an extra 3 points. I hope we get 40 points or more. I just don't see it happening with the weather in this game. The stadium is not going to be 100% full. Hope it is. I do think K-State's going to break some records, though. And let's go ahead and, Get Along says 31-20, Cats win. Not as many points as we all. Fine. As long as K-State wins, that's all that matters, right?
And you notice how he strategically put 31 down. Remember when we talked about K-State, as long as they make 31 points, they win their games? That is a stat. They have lost their games if they score 30 or less, but they have won when they score 31 or more. So I like what you did there.
T Nelly 13 says, let's Lego Cat. All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go ahead and get into our hot takes for this weekend. Kenny, I'm going to let you go first because I don't want to steal any of yours. Kenny, what are your K-State hot takes for Farmageddon tonight at the Bill?
All right. So I don't know if this is quite a hot take because this has happened almost every single game where our first touchdown, our first drive always ends with Ben Sennett sitting in the end zone, right in the middle of the end zone, wide open, and he gets the catch. This has happened more than I think 4 or 5 times. As our first touchdown of the game, it comes by the hands of Ben Sennett, just finding the soft spot in the middle of the end zone, and he just gets it. We're probably sitting at the 10-yard line or the 8-yard line or whatever, and Will Howard just lobs one right to him, and it just ends up coming up every time. So I don't know if it's necessarily a hot take. It's definitely my least hottest take. 2 non-offensive touchdowns today. That's going to be wild. T Nelly coming in with the hot takes right there. I'm not sure. It is going to be weather restricted. We'll see what happens there. But I will say the prediction: Will Howard's going to get. He's going to get his touchdown, season record touchdown. He just needs 2. I mean, he's got 2 games to do it, and I think you could definitely get it done in 2 games, but I want to get it done this game, and I think the first one is going to come by the hands of Ben Sennett in the middle of if I call this will be the coolest call ever because it happens so many times. I don't know if it's a crazy prediction. They just always draw this play up when they're in the red zone. They have Ben Sennett just coming across the middle. He catches the ball. It's a touchdown, first touchdown of the game. So that'll be the first one. Second one's probably going to come by the hands of DJ Giddens. He's going to probably come out to the flat, and they're going to do just a quick, maybe a screen or possibly just a short pass, and then he'll walk it in. I've seen that play happen so many times, but those will be the first 2 touchdowns of the game. Will Howard will get that record. And and then as far as the defensive hot take, couldn't agree more with Kenny. It's almost a guarantee. It is, man. I appreciate that. So as far as the defense goes, defensively, I'm going to say this. We are going to force not just 1, but 2 fumbles this game. The ball is going to be slippery. It's going to be slippery turf. Some people are going to be a little disoriented when the Cats come in and knock their heads off, and the ball's going to go flying, and we're going to force 2 fumbles today. That's going to be my defensive hot take. My offensive hot take: Will Howard's going to break the record, and it's going to come by the hands of Ben Sennett, being the senior he is. Well, junior technically, but it's senior night for him. And then DJ Giddens. What do you got, Steve?
I freaking love it. I freaking love it, dude. I got a couple hot takes. Hot take number 1, I'm going to find you a extra ticket that you needed. Hopefully the person has messaged you because I've already someone that's going to give you a free ticket that you needed for today's game. So that's my first take. We're already 1-0 on that, 1 for 1. My second hot take: DJ Giddens, Trayshawn Ward are going to combine for over 200 rushing yards today. K-State's offensive line is going to dominate. Obviously, Will Howard is going to get his 2 touchdowns to break the record. 1 more, and he gets a 50 passing touchdowns, which would be amazing. And just getting 50 as the overall record for passing touchdowns in a career, which would be amazing. He only needs 2 to break the single season record, which would be 25, which would be awesome. I think that's going to happen today as well. We talked about that. I think K-State defensively is going to force 3 turnovers. I'm with you on the 2 fumbles train. I got 2 fumbles, 1 interception, and I agree with T. Nelly. K-State's going to get a non-offensive touchdown as well.
What the heck, dude? You Price is righted me again. you Price is righted me again. You're like, oh yeah, 2 fumbles and an interception.
And an interception.
You Price is
so anything
righted
more
me.
than 2 fumbles. Anything more than 2 fumbles, Big Brooks.
T. Nelly here say that I'm not going. I am a curse. Do not show your face anywhere near. Don't you go anywhere near that thing.
It's like Cody, man. It's like Cody. Like whenever he goes to games, like he's bad luck, dude. He just is. He did not give us a score prediction. I'm sure he'd have K-State winning something like 50-0.
Well, we got get along score prediction.
High.
He predicted 31-20. I wonder if T. Nelly is going to be here. T. Nelly will submit his score prediction. If he does, we'll give him a shout out in the next episode. If it ends up being right or even close. But I will say, yeah, those are good predictions, man. It's gonna be a fun game. It's gonna be one to remember. I definitely love this rivalry. It's been such a great rivalry to watch over the years. Some games have been stressful. But this season has kind of just been one of those miracle seasons, other than the fact that we won't get to the Big 12 championship, but just the way in which we've played these games throughout. We've just had such an amazing year. You can't be mad at the Cats. They've really played their hearts out. Some things just didn't go our way in some of these games, and it is what it is.
The schedule didn't go our way. Let's be honest. The schedule didn't go our way.
And the clarification didn't go our way either.
God. Right. Flying Penguin says, I'm hoping y'all are right about the score. My heart can't take another 10-9 game. Yes, I agree. But at that point, Adrian Martinez was still the QB. And K-State was not opening up this game very much. Will Howard's the man. He really is. And I want to talk more about the seniors in the next podcast, give our thoughts on the seniors in the season and all that. But Will Howard's he's battled a ton of adversity. And to see him be able to break multiple quarterback records is great to see, man. It's really is.
To me, it's almost kind of did the reverse effect for me. Like a lot of people were like kind of ready to like put him away. Where to me, how he responded, it's like did the reverse effect where it's like, how can you not root for this guy now? How can you not be a fan? It's like this guy has pushed through some of the hardest things that have been thrown his way, and he's managed to come out on top. Like he's already broken the record for the most career passing touchdowns, and now he's about to break the record for single season. And it's like
he's also going to be in a. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, and he did it without even playing much of the Texas Tech game when his job was on the line.
And he's gonna he'll also get into the top 10 all time at K-State in terms of passing yards in a single season. So he'll be top 10 after this game, passing yards in the season. He's gonna break the passing touchdown record in single season. He already broke the career passing touchdowns record. He's won a Big 12 championship. His name is gonna be on the stadium. Let's be honest. It's gonna be up there. Like you can't have all those records and win a conference title and not have your name on the stadium.
Dude, it's like it's so well deserved, in my opinion. He's not the kind of guy that just pops out of your screen and is like, wow, this guy's an amazing talent. But this guy has worked his butt off. He's worked his butt off for all these years. It's kind of like he's the workhorse of K-State football. And it's like, man, how can you not like root for this guy? I mean, it's not quite an underdog story, but it kind of is in a sense, because it just seems like the deck was always stacked against him. That's the term. The deck was always stacked against him almost every single year he's been a K-State football player, and he's managed to like push through, persevere, and that just says a lot about his character. And it's like I said, how can you not like root for a guy like this? It's just so cool
Absolutely.
to see.
I hope we get to see him on Sundays next year, man. I really do, because he's a baller, and he's everything that K-State exemplifies for sure. He's battled adversity. He played behind a future NFL quarterback. He played alongside Nebraska's all-time everything, yards, TDs, everything, and he still ended up winning a conference title last year. This year, He battled adversity again multiple times, and he's still coming on top. I love Will Howard, man. I really do, and I'm excited for him in the future of K-State football.
If there's anybody that deserves this record, it goes to this guy for sure. Hats off to him. Hats off to him. If he gets it this game, which I think they're going to do a lot. They're going to try to do everything they can to make sure he breaks this record. Because it's so well deserved, and so hats off to him for giving K-State fans something to cheer about this year, man. He's really pulled through. He's been clutch when he needed to be clutch. Sometimes it didn't go his way, but it is what it is. You don't win games on single plays. Sometimes it just ends up being the case where things just didn't go our way this season in some games, and you can't be super. This is football, man. This is college football. Anything can happen. But I'm just glad. Yep. I'm just happy for the Cats. I'm not mad at this season at all. I just hope we win this game. We win out. We get double-digit wins for the year again. Yeah, man, pumped. I'm freaking pumped. Let's go out and win today. When's the game again? It's 7:00, right?
6:00 on, I believe, Fox tonight, which is phenomenal. K-State's got a chance, like you said, to win 9 games for the second consecutive year in the regular season. They have a chance to win 10 games if you count the bowl game and postseason, all that. If K-State wins 10 games again this year, just like last year, it will be the first time K-State has won 10 games in a season in back years since 2011 and 2012. We talked about how if K-State wins tonight, they'd have an undefeated home record for the first time since 2012. The quarterback of those teams, Colin Klein, quarterback of this team, will have a couple Big 12 champs. I like K-State's chances tonight, man. I really do. So
yeah, so that's
all I got, man.
You're gonna be pre-gaming a little bit. You're gonna be going out and getting a little pre-game action going.
No, I gotta take my mom and my aunt game tonight, so I gotta drive.
Is your mom gonna be doing a little pre-game? Maybe do like a keg stand or something.
My mom does not drink. She never drinks. Like I'm dead serious. I don't think she's sipped any alcohol in about 20 plus years. So
well, respect to her, man. But I think it would be cool if your mom did a keg stand. Just saying.
I think it would be cool too, but it's not gonna happen. So anything else before we get out of here, man? This has been a great season.
Yeah, I can't wait to do a season preview or a season basically overview of the whole season in general. That's gonna be a cool episode. And then we eventually, I know our schedule has been crazy. It's holidays. What can you expect? But we're gonna eventually get an episode out talking about the Cats basketball team. Some things have kind of already been in the works. Tomlin looks like he's gonna be coming back, man, which is big news for the back, dude. Yeah, look, that's big news for the Cats. That's big news for the Cats. He's an absolute baller of a player. So super excited about that. And yeah, man, thanks so much for all the viewers that have come on and have there you go. Great. Get along. Yeah, great show. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you watching. Your patronage is always welcome. To everybody else, this has been a really fun season to recap each day. I know Steve and we've had a lot of fun talking about this, and it's been fun to interact with a bunch of different people throughout the it's been fun to interact with everybody throughout the year. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Nelly.
Appreciate you, buddy. So again, guys, if you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, throw a comment in there, stir the pot. We love to hear it. Other teams like Iowa State Cyclones, if you're watching this, wheat's greater than corn. And
Cats by a million, Cats by 90.
Cats by a million, Cats by 90. Yeah, man, I got nothing, man. That's it for me.
This all started as an idea. This all started as an idea. You and I just texting back and forth about possibly doing a K-State podcast, and just took it from there. We appreciate everyone for watching. We got over 13,000 view videos since we started, which is phenomenal. And we appreciate it. This has been a ton of fun, and I'm excited to watch K-State play tonight in person here at the Bill. I'm Stevie B.
I'm Kenny G.
Thanks, everyone, for watching. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, tell your friends. And until next time, go Cats, baby.
Go Cats.
Damn,